Hey guys, it's Olin here for the very first installment of Homebrew Reviews with Homebrew Dad. Obviously, I'm Olin, I'm Homebrew Dad. Hopefully this is going to be a regular feature. Basically the idea is pretty simple. Other homebrewers send beer, and I give you a fair, honest review. I'm not a BJCP judge. I don't pretend to have some kind of an amazing, sensitive palate or anything like that. I'm a regular guy, hoping to give you regular feedback. I know one of the big deals for me, one of the big challenges, is I don't really have a lot of buddies here locally that homebrew. So basically, either you get it tastes like dark beer, or you get the old, hey, it's great no matter if it's good or not, because people don't want to turn down, free beer. Hopefully this is just another good avenue. Again, I'm not a competition judge, but hopefully we'll get some value or entertainment, or you can poke fun at the funny looking guy. Anyway, today's very first beer comes to us from Isaac from Leesburg, Florida. Isaac has given us the American Dream Rise of a Nation. No surprise there, this is a 4th of July beer. As I understand it here, this was heavily influenced by Isaac's wife, Amy. In fact, even though Isaac's been brewing for years, this is really Amy's very first recipe. The idea was that she wanted to have something that reminded her of rye bread dipped in beer, maybe some tangerine or orange notes to it. Anyway, so that's what we got. Took a look at the grain bill, and what I see looks pretty solid. We're looking at 8 pounds of two-row, a pound each of biscuit and rye malt, half a pound of carapils, got some Chinook for both the bittering and a little bit of aroma at the end, and dry hop with Amarillo, Chico yeast, specifically the Y Yeast 1056 version. So we'll see what we got. Unfortunately, my awesome bottle opener has disappeared. None of my kids have fessed up to it. Haven't seen it for almost 2 weeks. I'm very sad. This is a great keychain freebie. But we'll see what we got. Get a nice hiss. And not a whole lot of head there, so I'm going to pour just a little more aggressively as we go. Not sure how great the lighting shows you. But what I see here, I get a fairly cloudy, kind of a darker copper type beer. Get a thin off-white head, probably not quite a finger's width to it. Aroma's nice. I like that. I definitely get the citrusy notes out of it. I can pick up the rye because there's a little spicy there. That's a really nice blend. I like the way that comes across. Good stuff. Hop forward. Not bitter at all. The balance is very lightly to the bitter side, but balance is a fairly key term there. Just a little bit of a bitter aftertaste that comes with it, but I get the fruitiness. Not a lot of it. It's pretty reserved. I think if the idea was that you were shooting for the rye bread, I think that you're going to have to use a fair amount more rye than was used on this particular beer. I get a hint of the spicy to it. It's definitely there, but it's not enough to really pick up in what I would call a rye beer. It's a nice accent. Let's see. Mouthfeel wise, this is a definite, nice, drinkable American Pale. This is what I would call a thirst quenching type beer. Even though I'm not a big one for pounding beers down, you see it's starting to disappear out of my glass fairly quickly. So, I mean, if that tells you anything, it's clearly a tasty beer. Mouthfeel, again, is light. It finishes up just a little watery. I'm not sure yet if that's exactly what we were going for. I know Isaac did include kind of some notes of his own so that we could go back and compare notes and see. It's funny. The target, as described to me, was going to be a little more of a tangerine or orange type notes. I get almost a grapefruit out of it. Definitely, I think it plays really well because you get the end result is there's not a whole lot of the toasty, just a little bit of that. Definitely none of the really heavy bready flavors. Not a whole lot of what I would call, there's definitely no bulky taste going on here, but what I get is hops up front, some nice spicy to it, citrusy all put together, and then it just kind of finishes out just slightly bitter. Overall, I would say this is a nice beer. The biggest gripe I have, honestly, is the appearance. It's kind of murky. Carbonation level is great. Again, I'm not sure that the lighting is going to show it, but I get almost an effervescent, just constant stream of bubbles coming up, and that really adds to it. Gives you kind of a little bit of a tickling, a little bit of that carbonation sting on the tongue, which is nice. Well, movie star I'm not, camera presence I'm not, but this was a nice beer. I will finish it off here in a moment off camera. I anticipate that this is going to be the kind of beer that I'm going to get a little more of the malt notes to it as it warms up, and I'll see if that holds to be true. If it does, I'll include that in my notes when I put the write-up down. All told, though, Isaac, Amy, that's a nice beer. It's one you should really be proud of. I'm sure that your friends, you didn't tell me, but I'm sure that they did enjoy it. If they like good beer, they did. I've had worse beers on tap for sure. It's something you should be proud of, and I'd love to swap beers with you anytime. Okay, well, that, my friends, is it. Not a whole lot of pomp and circumstance. Hopefully, I'll get better at this review thing and not stumble quite as much as we go along. If you'd be interested in having my feedback on your beers, please feel free to reach out. I'd love to do it. Love to take care of doing that for you. Maybe swap some beers. And that's it. I'm going to quit stumbling around here. Call it a day. Thanks for tuning in and watching. And happy brewing, guys.